Welcome you all. In this session, let us understand what are meant by energy plantation. So energy plantation plays very vital role in a biomass generation. So what is meant by energy plantation? When the land plant the are grown purposefully for the fuel value by capturing solar radiation, it is called as energy plantation. So here we are actually using purposefully for the fuel value, means it has been grown only for the calorific value. It is not grown for the agricultural purpose, right? It is the mango tree or jackfruit fruit are not fitting for the energy plantation. But here the plant which has been grown only purpose is to increase the calorific value or comes under the energy plantation. The plant act as a solar collector. So because it is going to occupy the large area, it act like a collector for the solar energy, right? And it provides usable fuel throughout the year. Means the fuel is available throughout the year. So it is a round a clock. It is available 365 days. So because I'm going to deforest or I will want to cut a part of the area, so other part will be available. So it is also termed as calorie plants. Farm crops are unsuitable. As I told, the sugar cane or the sunflower, these are not coming under energy plantation. These are all farm crops. They are not suitable, right? And mature tree grows too slowly. So it requires a teakwood if you are considering. So it can be considered as energy plantation, but it requires to grow at least minimum 10 years, right? 10 to 20 years. So the mature trees always grow slowly. Moreover, wild vegetation vary greatly in the form and quantity. What is meant by energy plantation? Let us see the main features of energy plantation. The need of a growth of energy plantation is to meet fuel wood needs without affecting agricultural land in a main priority, right? So we cannot occupy the agricultural land and I want to draw the energy plant. It is not possible. Mean to say, the bare land, with the land which is unfit for any agricultural plantation has to be used for the energy plantation. And moreover, energy plantation on wasteland is one of the most economic and versatile way of harnessing solar energy through photosynthetic process. So the wasteland which is unfit for any agriculture can be effectively used for the energy plantation. Most of the villages in our country have 20 to 40% wasteland and their total geographical area of this can be utilized for energy plantation. Mean to say, otherwise these bare lands, so when we go from Mangalore to Bangalore, right? Some regions, Sakleshpur, earlier it is found to be very bare land. Now, because of the energy plantation, it has been occupied by some trees. And moreover, if you visit the Gujarat, over 67 lakh hectares of the wasteland has been used to grow the energy plantation. So earlier these were very bare land. Now 67 lakh hectares, right, has been taken up for the energy plantation for last 15 years. The soil condition. The required soil condition is agricultural land cannot be devoted for the calorie plants. As I told, it should not be agricultural land. I cannot grow this one. It is to be meant for the any wasteland or bare land. So adequate moisture should be there. Without moisture, the plant will not survive. So there should be adequate moisture. The moderate growing season, right? The seasonal change or the moderate growing season should be there, and few centimeters of the topsoil capable of retaining the moisture, right? Without a dry areas we cannot grow, so at least a certain, if the rain is also not coming, but the upper portion is having moisture to hold, right? Those land is a fit for a energy plantation. Should be managed on a larger scale. It cannot be done for some small area. Hectares, right? Acres or hectares has to be considered. So it is to be managed for a large scale, and large number of trees are to be planted per unit area. Maximum surface area should be face the sun. So the solar energy should be available to the throughout the year. That is the main requirement for the energy plantation. And 50 million hectares can yield fuel equivalent to 3000 trillion kilocalories, right? Means a large amount of area is required for equivalent oil, right? So in the energy plantation we are going to grow for any biofuels, right, for the seeds, and this will be useful for our as a biomass. So in India, if you are taking, what is the scenario? Let us see. Here we are having the harvesting mechanized if required, depending on the availability of the labor force, and around 12,000 to 24,000 tree may be planted per hectare, and initially harvesting may be done once in 3 years depending on the type and growth of the plant. And as we know, the solar incidence in the India is around 400 calorie per centimeter square per day. Only 0.5 to 0.77 percentage of it is converted into fuel equivalent. It can be easily increased to 0.9%. From 0.5 to we can increase up to 0.9 by optimizing the production and crop rotation. Crop rotation means I am not going to grow the same plants. I am going to change once in a 2 year or once in 4 year, depending on. So once the crop has been grown, I will be after those trees have been cut, I am going to grow some other tree. That is the main agenda over here, to optimizing. And the cost estimation suggests that it is cheaper than hydrocarbon fuel and slightly greater than the coal cost in the place closer to the coal mines. What are the advantages of energy plantation? Let us see what are the plus points or the things what makes us to go for a energy plantation. Storage. There is no storage losses. When I'm talking about storage, if I'm thinking about thermal power plant, I want a large area for the storage for the coal, right? And if I have to go for refinery, or if I'm having liquid fuel, it has to be stored in a bigger tanks, right? So maybe storage tank, maybe daily using tank, anyhow. So those storage, right? And when I'm storing in the thermal power station, we have seen, because of wind, right, many of the coal will be carried away to the nearby residential areas, or it is a waste. So those waste or those problems are not there with the energy plantation, right, in the storage. So even if the liquid fuel you are using, the sludge formation will increase, right, and the removal of sludge often required once in a year. Those problems can be resolved very easily. Economics. The In the economics, we have to take point of the cost of the production is less, the cost processing is less, cost of the land can be reduced, because the production is less, cost of the production. Once you grow, then there is no need to take care, or you have no need to keep a constant monitoring. Processing is less, just you have to use a cutter and you have to make into required size, right? And cost of the land, as we are discussed earlier, we are using the wasteland, we are not using the agricultural land. Generally these land have got lesser cost. Air pollution, right? Whenever the pollution norms plays a very important role, the sulfur content is less than 0.1% and sulfur dioxide pollution is negligible. Means when I'm talking about solid fuels, the main problem, or the board, the pollution control board, is always monitoring whether I'm having the sulfur in my fuel, right? And of course other parameters are there, but when the sulfur is there, it is a restricting for a particular temperature, right? It is restricted to 150 degrees centigrade, not less than, because the dew point temperature of the fuel flue gas will be around that temperature. So the air pollution, so I have to dump the hot flue gas into atmosphere, which is a increase the global warming. Those issues are not there with the energy plantation. Ash, rich in nutrient, minerals, and can be used as a manure. So the ash contain the pH value, it is not acidic, right? It is a slightly, if it's around 7.273 or 6.3, so can be used, right? It can be used as the manure, or it can be used to make even to the making the bricks, right? The Ashraya house bricks can be made out of this ash. The carbon dioxide balance on the earth. So the carbon fixation or carbon capturing, the carbon cycle, right? That is been effectively used if I am doing the energy plantation. These are the main advantages, and it depends on the location, soil quality, and water availability. Some of the plant considered are Casuarina. So here the large evergreen trees, and these are grown in the coastal area. In the coastal area, we can find large amount of this type of trees, and it reaches 15 to 25 meter with a trunk diameter of 18 centimeter, and sometimes it reaches the height of 50 meter with a trunk dia up to 30 centimeter, right? It is found cultivated in India, Indonesia, Australia, Malaysia, and Sri Lanka. And this can be planted at a sea level as well as around 1500 meter above the sea level. Can grow in areas receiving 200 to 300 mm rain, or even 5000 mm rain, means where there is a heavy rainfall. Means the coastal area generally have heavy rainfall compared to the other land, so you can easily, or it can be adopted as a energy plantation in the coastal area, the coastal belt. Clay soil is not suitable, so the clay soil is unsuitable to grow these type of trees. It is harvested after 5 to 7 years, so the growth period of these trees are around 5 to 7 years. Yield of lopping from the second year is about 3 to 5 tons per hectare per year. The yield on rotation basis is about 250 tons per hectare for 4 years, and considered as a best firewood in the world. Let us see the uses. It can be used as a wood, it can be used as a pulp, and used as a windbreak. It will break the wind velocity, right? Otherwise, during heavy rains, there will be the wind velocity will be very high in the coastal region. The people, one is the fisherman, one is staying nearby, right? Their residential area is near to this coast, right? It will be safeguarding their houses because uh, there may not be concrete houses, and their houses are temporary houses, or there may be the tails house, right? So to give the safety point, it used as a windbreak, and it actually controls the erosion. Second one is the eucalyptus. This is a seen not in the coastal region, right? It is seen the region like a hill stations. So in the places like Ooty, Kodaikanal, or Manali, you can see in those places these trees shows the early growth and reaches at about height of 60 to 70 meter with a trunk dia of 2 to 3 meter. The growth of about 15 meter in 3 years and 30 meter in 10 years in India. Has a straight trunk used for railway tracks. The eucalyptus can be used for the railway tracks, fence post, paper and pulp. The quality of the paper, right, will be very nice if it is from the eucalyptus. And we know that oil extracted. So eucalyptus oil is increases the immunity, and because of the COVID cases, we have seen the many places as the safeguard of this one. People used to have this eucalyptus oil on the mask. Over many places they were spraying, or they were just having the drops of eucalyptus on their hands as a safety. So it yields about 24 tons per acre per year. Additional byproduct is the honey. Wherever you see the eucalyptus, the honeycombs can be seen. The honeycombs, the honey combs are well established in the Ooty Kodaikanal area, because these eucalyptus trees, wherever eucalyptus trees are there, these honeycombs are found, or the harvesting, the honey harvesting can be done effectively. Next one is a sorghum. It is a very high yield, and yield is about 10 to 30 tons per acre. Needs less water, used for the production of ethanol. Various other spices of cassava and sorghum with the varying energy content are available for planting to derive energy. These are some example, and we have some other plants, but to explain, to understand what is energy plantation, we have considered these examples. So you can see it is been how the energy plantation can be done. So very close, and in the picture shows the clarity how the energy plantation is done. It is not like the agriculture land, and it will occupy the hectare of the area.